Are you tired of pouring your heart and soul into social media only to see, well, not much? If you're ready to stop guessing and actually start winning, you are in the right place. And hey, if you want to keep getting strategies just like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. If you've ever felt totally lost in that endless cycle of posting, you are definitely not alone. So many business owners feel the exact same way. It can really feel like you're just throwing content out into the void, right? Hoping something, anything, will stick, but with no real sense of direction or progress. But what if we started looking at it in a totally different way? Author Artem Senatorov suggests we should think of SMM, that's social media marketing, like a game of chess. See, every single move isn't random. It's a deliberate step toward checkmate. This isn't about luck. It's about having a calculated plan to win the game. Okay, so let's dive into this. We've basically distilled Senarov's insights into a 5-step playbook that's going to take you from social media chaos to strategic control. We'll cover what winning content actually is, the big traps to avoid, how to figure out where you stand right now, where to play, and maybe most importantly, how to just keep getting better. All right, first up, let's get the foundation right. We hear the term quality content thrown around all the time, but what does that really mean in practice for your brand? Well, Senator Rosov defines it with 3 essential conditions. And listen, all 3 of these have to be met for your content to work. If even one is missing, it's kind of like trying to bake a cake without flour. It's just not going to work. Let's break them down. First, it's gotta be relevant. This sounds super obvious, right? But it's a surprisingly common mistake. If you sell hiking boots, your posts should be about hiking, nature, and adventure, not the latest celebrity gossip. Unless, of course, that celebrity was just spotted wearing your boots on some epic mountain trail. Then maybe. Second, it has to be original. Now, this doesn't mean you have to reinvent the wheel every single day. Nope. It just means you put your own unique spin on it. Even a famous quote, when it's framed with your brand's distinct voice and style, becomes a really powerful and original piece of content. And finally, it has to be interesting, or at the very least, have the potential to be interesting. Come on, let's be real. We all want our content to go viral, but the truth is, not every post is going to be a home run. But every single one should be created with the belief that it has a real shot to connect with your audience and make an impact. So now that we have a pretty clear idea of what great content looks like, let's talk about the common traps that can completely derail our social media efforts before they even get a chance to get going. The source points to 3 critical errors that, let's be honest, we've probably all been guilty of at some point. First, publishing only ads, which basically turns your feed into a non-stop commercial. Nobody wants that. Second, expecting overnight success, forgetting that building a real community takes time. And third, chasing trends by being on every single platform, which just spreads you way too thin. Now, what's really cool about this slide is the fix for that first mistake. Senator Rose suggests using the 80-20 rule. This means only 1 out of every 5 of your posts should be a direct promotion. The other 4? They should be all about giving value, entertaining, educating, or inspiring your audience. Think of it like a friendship. You wouldn't constantly try to sell stuff to your friends, would you? Of course not. You'd build a relationship on trust. The same rules apply right here. Okay, so to move forward with a real strategy, you first have to understand exactly where you are right now. In chess, you would never make a move without assessing the whole board. The same thing goes for social media, which means it's time to do an audit. Start by asking these key questions about everything you've done so far, and be honest with yourself. There's absolutely no judgment here. What were you trying to achieve? Where did you try to do it? What did you post? How much did it all cost? And who was actually in charge? Getting this clarity is the absolute first step to building a better strategy. So here's a crucial point. Don't be afraid of negative feedback. In fact, you should lean into it. Negative reviews are like a free consultation with your target audience. They are telling you exactly what you need to fix. And when you respond publicly, you're showing everyone that you're a brand that listens, that you care, and that you're confident enough to be transparent. That's huge. Once you know your position on the board, it's time to choose your battlefield. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be where it counts. It's time to stop playing defense and really start playing offense. And this chart illustrates the differences perfectly. Each platform has its own distinct audience and purpose. Facebook is global and a bit older, perfect for international business. Instagram, on the other hand, skews younger and is super visual, which is ideal for lifestyle brands. The key is to do your homework and focus your energy where your target customers are actually spending their time. So take a look at this and ask yourself, where do I need to be to win? All right, finally, let's talk about long-term success. Did you know the average social media strategy can be totally outdated in as little as 6 months? It's crazy. That's why a great strategy isn't something you just set and forget. It's a living, breathing thing that needs to constantly adapt. The book recommends adopting the Japanese principle of Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. This is the same idea Toyota used to become one of the world's biggest automakers. It's all about making small, consistent improvements over time that add up to massive results. So here's how that looks in the real world. Every month, you basically become a scientist in your own social media lab. You measure performance, you cut the bottom 10% that just isn't working, and you replace those slots with new, exciting experiments. At the same time, you analyze your top 10%, your big winners, and you figure out how to do more of that. It's this constant, powerful cycle of learning, growing, and, well, winning. With this strategic playbook, you now have the tools to turn your social media from a source of frustration into a powerful engine for growth. See, it's no longer a game of chance. It's a game of strategy. So the only question left is, are you ready to make your first move? If you're ready to level up your social media game for real, then hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the strategies that will help you win. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next explainer.